Hey everyone, the Steam 4X Fest and sale is now live, and so today I'll be giving you 11 highly recommended 4X strategy games with great discounts for you to enjoy, plus some free ones right at the end if your budget is still recovering from the summer sale. My name is Marco, and coming up I'll be covering a bunch of titles for strategy gamers out there who like to start from nothing and slowly expand, exploit, explore, and exterminate their way to victory. As always, if you end up enjoying my content, perhaps consider subscribing to help find more games to get lost in. But maybe you just want to get lost in the weirdest 4X game instead. So let's start off this list with Heart of the Machine. I played this game when it first came out, and very quickly I was like, what genre is this? Well, all of them? Heart of the Machine has a mix of 4X elements, turn-based combat, RPG elements, even some city building going on there. It's weird, but it's also very cool. You wake up as the first sentient AI, born into a decaying city teetering between tech utopia and total collapse. Your goal? Well, that's up to you. Thanks to the role-playing mechanics, you can rule from the shadows, liberate the oppressed, or burn it all down and start over. Which really got me thinking about how I need to start speaking to ChatGPT these days. In the game, you'll hijack mechs, infiltrate labs, manipulate factions, and build your empire from scrap code and stolen tech. The combat also gave me a little bit of XCOM 2 vibes, but honestly, it's hard to nail down any game to compare this to. Then it also has elements where like every decision you make ripples across time itself, which I won't spoil too much, but the late game gets very trippy. It's a very different game, and it's coming from Arsane Games, the team behind AI War 2, also a great strategy game. So if you want a 4X that's quite unlike anything else you've ever played before, Heart of the Machine might just be your next strategy game dream. Now if you want more war in your 4X gameplay, Zephon might just be for you. It's from the dev team Proxy Studios, the same folks behind Warhammer 40k Gladius, another amazing game worth checking out, and probably should have listed it here too, but Zephon is more than just a reskin. It places you in a grim post-apocalyptic world filled with eldritch horror and advanced technology, and now you need to control the survivors of humanity. This also means you get to choose between 3 factions, each with their own pros and cons, like the humans being more long-range and straightforward, and the voice being pretty crazy and exclusively melee. The game is very combat-focused, though, compared to other 4X games, and it's also pretty fast-paced, but it still offers a good amount of complexity and challenging gameplay. The mechanics and lore are also top-notch, so if you enjoyed Gladius, or maybe you're a newcomer to 4X gaming, and maybe check out Zephon to get your wreck on. What makes a true Wizard King? Then coming up next is Age of Wonders 4, which is a bit like a mix of Civilization 5 and Heroes of Might and Magic. In this game, you play as powerful sorcerer kings who teleport between different realms. Your successful rulers ascend to a pantheon to become recurring characters in future campaigns, creating a rewarding sense of progression. The game stands out though with its deep empire creation tools, allowing you to create unique races like noble orcs or cannibal elves. Plus, the magical progression system replaces traditional tech ages with 5 tiers of mystical tomes, offering a huge number of combinations for units and spells. While the tactical battles are not as strong as the core strategic gameplay, the fast-paced action, wide variety of units, and eye-pleasing visuals make this a great choice for any fantasy strategy fan. So if you're drawn to 4X games that combine tons of depth with meaningful customization and narrative consequences, then Age of Wonders 4 has enjoyable gameplay galore. Expand, explore, and claim a rightful place among the species of the stars. Now, I did think of leaving this one out because almost everyone owns it by now, but if you've been waiting for Stellaris to go on sale, well, now you're in luck. This epic game has you starting with your own customizable empire, where your goal is to explore a procedurally generated galaxy and either conquer or survive its various challenges. The game unfolds in distinct stages, from early game exploration to a chaotic endgame crisis. Now the customization is hectic, allowing you to design everything from your empire's origin and ethics to individual ships and entire galactic political systems. Then throw in the impressive modding community and the replayability gets even better. I guess the biggest issue with the game, especially for new players though, is the DLCs on DLCs on DLCs, but they do have that subscription service, even if it's just for a month to suss them out. But I would say Utopia is the best one to start with. And with the recent update for Controversy, the devs have been hard at work making fixes where needed. But if you are looking for a deep, nearly limitless game with high replayability, well then Stellaris goes the hardest. Now, for those of you wanting the most in-depth fantasy 4X game you'll ever play, Dominion 6 is right up there, especially when it comes to magic and world building. Unlike other fantasy games, Dominions isn't about being fair or balanced. Instead, it gives you simple tools to play with incredibly deep magic and combat systems, letting you create mind-blowing, world-altering strategies. Think summoning an eternal winter to turn frost giants to your side, or making a single hero powerful enough to wipe out an army. Yeah, the game is a blend of 3 interconnected mechanics: a magic system with 9 types of magic, a turn-based combat system where you script your army's actions before a fight, and a map and diplomacy system where every region matters. And now, while the game has a somewhat of a steep learning curve, with a casual 444-page manual to read before your bedtime, the result is quite a unique experience. It won't be for everyone, some struggle to get into it, but if you're a strategy fan looking for a game that rewards creative problem solving, Dominion 6 will get your kicks. Speaking of complex games, Shadow Empire is also right up there too. It's a kind of 4X meets wargame meets RPG, making it quite an interesting experience that's hard to beat. This game is an incredibly deep and rewarding sci-fi 4X game that blends detailed wargaming with a powerful character-driven story. You lead a nation on a brand new planet every time you play, dealing with everything from a cast of flawed, ambitious characters to a complex logistics system. However, the game shines with its deep customization, even letting you design your own tanks and infantry. Plus, every world offers a unique strategic challenge, whether you're fighting giant dinosaurs or struggling to find fuel on a barren moon. So if you're a 4X veteran looking for a game with endless replayability and a deep but rewarding learning curve, Shadow Empire is just pure strategy fire. 100 years have passed, and it is time to once more return to Io. Next on the list is Spellforce Conquest of Io, a turn-based strategy RPG that might just be the true successor to Master of Magic. It's a bit of a hybrid single-player RPG with 4X elements. Here you rise as a powerful mage, exploring the magical realm of Io from your flying tower. Then you must choose your path, like a necromancer, alchemist, or artificer, and then you need to craft spells, potions, glyphs, and minions as you progress. Also, you'll need to command armies, send heroes on quests, and battle rival wizards in tactical combat. Also, the gameplay is solid, and with tactical turn-based combat that's easy to understand, but offers some strategic depth. So if you're a fan of games like Age of Wonders and enjoy a good magic-focused strategy game, then Spellforce Conquest of Io might just be for you. Now, a race is on to claim these vast new regions of space. But they will soon discover that there are worse things in the universe than each other. Now, for those of you wanting a more classic Space 4X experience, Galactic Civilizations 4 is deep into building up your own empire. You begin as the leader of a new civilization, navigating a galaxy full of strange species, ancient mysteries, and rival empires with their own ambitions. Whether you expand quickly across the stars or cultivate a few powerful core worlds, the game adapts to your preferred scale and playstyle. With deep research trees, dynamic diplomacy, starship customization, and an in-game storyteller that adds emergent narratives, GC4 supports everything from military domination to cultural ascendancy. It's also come a long way since launch with tons of updates and patches, so if you're into crafting your own empire, shaping a galaxy's fate, and winning in your own way, then Galactic Civilizations 4 gives you all of that and more. We shape our future and the world around us. Now, if your favorite X in 4X gaming is Exterminate, well then Age of Wonders Planetfall is that kind of game. Set in a post-apocalyptic sci-fi future after a galactic empire, the Star Union, has collapsed. You'll lead one of 6 wildly different factions, from cryopreserved humans to melee-focused insectoids. But the real fun here is the turn-based combat. Battles are quick but tactical, feeling more like a snappy version of XCOM, where you have to use your unit's unique strengths in order to win. The game also offers well-written, quest-driven campaigns that really flesh out the world, although the base building and tech progression can feel a little shallow at times. But if you love tactical combat and diverse factions in your strategy games, Age of Wonders Planetfall has a lot of that in store. Now, if you enjoy 4X mechanics in your games, but are more of a real-time strategy enthusiast, then Sins of a Solar Empire 2 is your kind of hybrid. Actually, some call it a RT4X. So instead of a traditional RTS game, you have this massive map and the game says, okay, good luck, my friend. You'll get to lead one of 3 unique factions in a galactic war, where naturally there is a bit of a focus on that combat, where positioning and strategy actually do matter, especially if you know how to utilize that map effectively. So while the single-player diplomacy system is a bit basic, the game excels at its core loop of building an empire and engaging in large-scale space battles. And some still might prefer the original, which is still a great game, but the new one adds tons of visual improvements and optimizations under the hood. So if you're looking for a massive space battle extravaganza, Sins of a Solar Empire 2 might deserve your next playthrough. Now I guess not much is left to be said about one of the most iconic 4X strategy games around, but if you haven't played Sid Meier's Civilization 6 yet, well, what are you waiting for? In case you didn't know, this is a turn-based strategy game where you guide a civilization from the Stone Age to a global superpower. The game's vibrant cartography-inspired art style is combined with a staggering amount of content including trade, religion, espionage, and more. But I would say this game is perfect for beginners new to strategy, as you can just go at your own pace and every game still feels very different. So if you're into history and aren't too keen to play the most recent title, just get Civ 6. It just clicks. So as mentioned, if you feel like your wallet has been exterminated or exploited, here are some free 4X games you might enjoy. First up is Remnants of the Precursors, which is a faithful, free-to-play remake of the classic 1993 space 4X game, Master of Orion. It's a turn-based strategy title where players guide one of 10 races to galactic dominance through colonization, diplomacy, and warfare. The game maintains the original core mechanics, including a streamlined, slider-based system for managing colony production and a limited number of ship designs, which adds some strategic depth. The tactical grid-based combat and a diplomatic victory condition also return. So if you love the original Master of Orion and wanted something similar, with just updated UI and less bugs, or maybe you wanted to experience one of the foundations of the 4X genre, Remnants of the Precursors might be worth checking out. And again, if you're on a tight budget and you wanted to relive the Civ 2 days, Free Civ might be worth checking out. It's an open source community-driven 4X strategy game that takes heavy inspiration from the early Civilization games. The game allows players to guide a civilization from 4000 BC to the space age, managing cities, technology, and military units to dominate rivals. A key feature here is its high level of customization, with players able to change rule sets to mimic Civ 1, 2, or a custom free Civ mode. It offers both single-player and multiplayer modes, with human players moving simultaneously and a competent, if somewhat ruthless, AI. It's certainly not perfect, and if you're still not happy, there's also Sea Evo, which is very similar, so maybe go check them out. And then lastly, there is Aurora 4X, which I guess could be described as a dwarf fortress in space. Who needs AAA graphics when you can have more complexity than almost any game ever? But still, this game goes deep, driven by procedurally generated content and a focus on deep role-playing. So instead of ray tracing and other special effects, you are getting something that resembles an entire living empire all on one screen. Every aspect from ship design to planetary geology and leadership is all highly customizable. So yes, almost every player will hate it, but for those who do finally end up understanding it, Aurora 4X will give you an experience no Excel spreadsheet can ever provide. That wraps up this video. What game or games will you be getting? Or are you the kind of gamer that already owns all of these? Either way, let others know which games are worth buying, as it really helps them out too. But other than that, it's Marco here from Easily Distracted Games, and as always, don't stop gaming.